let's wind down. We got ourselves a Thursday grid to jump into, and joining me today is Lilibet, and Lilibet is getting ready for bed, but she got out of going to bed by saying she had to do the crossword with moi. So here we go. Let's jump into our grid. Just having a Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot blend, and it's late, but when you're visiting family and trying to see people, and oh, everything gets away from us. So let's go ahead and hop on in. Okay, so we have a Joe Marquez grid here for Thursday, January 30th, and good to see that Will Shorts is on it. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and I'll adjust this now since we're kind of doing this hinky like. I mean, obviously, this is not the typical studio quality we're shooting for, and for that, I'm very apologetic. But next Monday evening, I'll be back in Germany, and everything will be back as normal. So let's go ahead and hop in here. So we got our first U.S. president, Prez, to be born outside of the original 13 colonies, and I bet you anything that's Abraham Lincoln. We got Prez, which means that we're not talking about president, so probably Abe, because I think he was born in Illinois or Kentucky, or I don't know. I mean, I think it was Illinois, but then he was, I think he, yeah, I think he represented Kentucky, or at least he was in a Kentucky militia. I think he was a captain in the militia. Singer with the 1972 album Young, Gifted, in Black, informally, and that would be Aretha. But we can just spell that correctly. And I'm just getting my bearings here, trying to adjust to the fact that it's 8 p.m. in Texas. And normally that would be 3 in the morning for me in Germany. So let's see. Crying, a horror film. We got an R. How about run? We're going to run. You want to run? Okay, no. Are you going to make faces at the camera all day? Okay, that's good. Quantity on a farm. How about a bushel? And let's see. Sic vita est, such is life. Catch could be to entrap. Don't know what's going on with these circles yet. We're going to find that out. I'm sure of it. DEF on a phone. So I think that's a 3 because the 1 had nothing, and then 2 was ABC. And you wouldn't know any of this because this is in the old days with phones, but they used to have numbers on the push button. Before that, we had rotary dials. Craziness. Groundbreaking medical procedure first accomplished in 1967. I do believe that's a heart transplant, but I don't know how we're going to make that work here. So let's just work with our downs, maybe. Grandson of Eve had Enoch and Enosh. I think we're going for Enos, which is Enosh, I guess how we tend to say that name. Let's see if we can. Tiny bit could be a speck. And then now we've got plunks down, maybe puts down, but sounds like plunks is more of a, like just throws down or something, right? They might sound the alarm, no idea. Suffix with social. Do you think it's a socialite or a socialist? Let's take a look. Rash reaction, maybe an itch. And let's get back to it. Play a bogey-free round, maybe. So maybe shoot par. You trying to get everybody's attention a little bit? Yeah. Suffix with, I've got socialist here. TV character who said doing the right thing is never the wrong thing. I have no idea. They might sound the alarm. Score endings would be codas. For all my musicians out there, you have to admit, doing the crosswords sometimes a little easier if you're just a musician. I think it helps, right? Brooklyn Nine-Nine police captain, no idea. Let's see. Append. Append. Man. What do we got here? Base for a proposal. We have a question mark. So I guess that would be a knee. That's very clever. In other words, you propose for marriage. Someone needs to get on their knee and say, "Will you marry me a little bit?" That kind of thing. So this may be a tack on, or maybe a tack to. Cousin of a haddock would be a cod. Uncertainties of life, or a feature of 4 answers in this puzzle. I don't know, but it looks like this could be ups and downs. So we're getting somewhere with this, don't you think, little girl? Hagen in the American Theater Hall of Fame, that would be Uta. Emerged, perhaps arose. Personal style could be taste. I mean, here we go. I guess this is Ted Lasso. You know, I've never seen a single episode of that either. Everything, it seems like these days, what I know is what I've learned in a crossword. Let's see. Deep-pocketed types could be fat cats. So I guess Brooklyn Nine-Nine police captain is Holt. So thefts could sound the alarm. Newspapers collectively, I'm assuming we mean the press, and focus of a product development test. I don't know what's going on out there. Let's see. Delicate fabric could be lace, and fictional prison guarded by dementors. Oh, I do know this. I got to remember. Uh, let's see. Clamps in a shop. Airport transports could be vans, and I do admit that is a bit of a it's kind of a confirmation bias going on because I wanted it to be vices, but I wasn't sure what kind of shops we were talking about. But this might line up for us just perfectly, don't you think? So challenge for an interpreter, perhaps. Big fuss could be an ado. So this might be an idiom, and I can see that. Zip nil, maybe. Mercenary, probably a soldier of fortune, but okay, so it looks like we got this transplant. Let's go ahead and put the transplant in the rest of the way and see what we got going on. We had this ups and downs thing. So if I got HEARTTRAN, transplant, so up and down, so heart and then transplant. That's a clever Thursday right there. That's good stuff. I'm liking it. Okay, so cover some ground could be sod, and children's author who wrote, and the only reason for being a bee that I know of is making honey. That sounds like Winnie the Pooh, doesn't it? So that would be A. A. Milne, wouldn't it? Christopher Robin is saying his prayers. Level could be to raise. Yeah, it's like as kabars, or I can't remember that for the life of me. I don't know. Okay, so focus of product development test could be user research. That's a clever grid. I'm loving it. So we probably have a soldier of fortune. And now we can put the tune in. Do you see how that's working there? No, I mean, you'd have to know how to read just yet, but soldier of fortune. So ups and downs. Isn't that clever? You gonna fall asleep on me in that chair? Pays for a hand, perhaps aunties. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the morning a little bit.
Am I going to sleep in here?
No. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Bemoan. Bemoan maybe is to lament. Are you going to bed in here in the guest room? You go right ahead. Connects with an X, maybe reunites. I'll let you know when I'm done with the crossword. You got it. So the film Airplane, for example, or as an example, could be a farce, and so therefore holds within contains. I'm telling you, I'm loving this grid. This is just a really good grid. Result of a leadoff walk would be one on, but not good if bases are loaded. Only about 10% of Americans have one, and I don't know, but I think it's probably an Audi. Region bordering India and China and risk would be Siam. Canyons, National Park, feature maybe a mesa. And here we go. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here, I think. Shakers in the woods could be aspens. And department or division of the Department of Labor could be OSHA. And pigeon, hawk, or crow. We got this AC. I'm going to go with an actor. All right. As Kabar, I mean, I don't remember that for the life of me. In the work software versions could be betas. I often say that one of the things that makes people successful at doing crosswords is just trying to remember bits and pieces of things if you can, just having enough knowledge to know that that's what you're shooting for, and then hopefully it'll fill in or you'll jog your memory. And then we got El Paso, which is probably one of my favorite places I've ever lived. I was stationed there for almost 5 years. I loved it. So chillax could be to rest. And let's see what we got going on now. Got something going on here. Azkaban has a clouded mind. Maybe Azkaban. Okay, so I think this might be can't see, and then the E, and then Straight. Can't see straight. Clever. Loving it. Stick at a roast could be a spit. And one can be fixed or liquid, and I'm thinking maybe asset. It's not a particularly challenging Thursday, but it's not a rollover either. But what it is just very clever, and I love the uses of these circles and the ups and down theme. That's very nice. I love it. Separation in some relationships. I don't know, maybe an age gap. Let's see what we got. Caresses, pats. I think of this as more of a pat. This is more of a caress, right? I don't know. I'm sure there's a definition that backs it up. Rock layers could be strata. And anti-vaping ad could be a public service announcement. And as the Clash said, with guitar. Ding, ding, ding. Possible answer to whose. How about theirs? Yeah, you and who army? Their army. Got it. So yeah, I think we got an age gap here. That's nice. So who we got here? Carnegie, Carnegie. This is plagiarism. Perko. Oh, very nice. Yes, got it. Now, what do we got here? Zoolenta's a Lun Lun or Yang Yang, and I guess it'd be a panda. Throat lozenge additive. I'm assuming this would be anise. U.S. org that operates a cryptology museum in Maryland would be the NSA. Cleverness, wit. I put a lot of stock in that. And switch positions could be ons. And how did we do, Bob? I don't know how loud that is for you, but that was really in my ears. Let's see. So overall, we've got an 11:26 time. We don't really count time though here, but I always want to take a look and see what it could be how it kind of falls in average what we normally do. I do a lot of talking, so it doesn't really. We're not playing for time. We're not racing through to show how cool we are or something like that. But what a pleasure. And again, thank you all so very much just for being patient while I'm traveling. Um, this old Mac laptop, it's probably 6 years old now, and it just doesn't have the capabilities, doesn't have the stuff that it needs to go. And I've always just used it for writing, poetry, whatever. I mean, just that's what I use it for when I'm traveling. And mostly I use an iPad these days with the little keyboard that's built into the cover. So when I'm traveling, I bring the laptop and we do this. But I'm just very limited. I can't use any software. I can't do anything. You're just gonna get it. You're getting it kind of raw, as it is. But at the end of the day, I figure if the channel ever grows and does something, monetizes or something like that, I'll use the very first profits to buy a laptop. But until then, I'll just be slumming on vacations or like this travel, and we'll see. But from Central Texas, Fort Cavazos, right outside in Copperas Cove. Uh, be good to yourselves. Be great to your friends and neighbors. But above all else, be nice to the person behind you in line. Be well out there. Take care. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Friday grid. Cheers.